Welcome to What's Up Pasadena. From past to present, the people of Pasadena have used their talent and resources to create and connect to their community. On this episode, we get busy in the kitchen at the new School of Cooking, learn about the history of Pasadena's indigenous people, show you how you can gain skills in video production at an HD television studio, and raise our glasses to a local micro distillery. Here at the New School of Cooking, students get the right mix of ingredients to prep for their culinary careers.
In 2012, we made a decision that based on the demand for shorter, less expensive professional training, that we would jump into that and offer on a very limited basis, because of the limited space we had on the west side of town, a 6-month program that was priced at a level so that those people that took pro cooking or took pro baking could say, okay, I'm ready, I want to sign up for the big event.
The New School of Cooking opened its Pasadena campus in September of 2017.
The differences here in our New School of Cooking is that we provide a much more intense, short program that we can provide to the students, get them ready to go into the industry a little faster, but it's very detailed, so the students come out prepared, they come out with less to pay, and we get them ready right away so they can start working in the industry.
I really enjoy the experience here at cooking school. It's a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot. I look forward to it every week, and then I go home and practice, and I enjoy that as well too.
What culinary schools should do is give you a really solid foundation, assuming you have an aptitude for this, and then give you a springboard into the field. Everybody comes for a different reason. People come because they want to open their own business. They've dreamt of having a restaurant or a bed and breakfast or a little artisan bakery, or they want to make wedding cakes, or they want to make chocolate and sell it to Trader Joe's. I don't know. Everybody's in a different career path.
In the education here, I really value the lecture that we do at the beginning of every class. I was a teacher and I enjoy the classroom experience, and listening to the lecture and taking notes, it gives me time to think before I step into the production process.
If you want to get that foundation, come in, learn how to wear the uniform, learn the vocabulary of our trade, learn how to manage the tools in the kitchen and get a comfort level, and learn basic knife cuts, soup, stock, sauces, basic skills. That's about what you can do in 6 months.
I use a lot of the techniques that I like to teach. Is I always like to give them my point of view, like the way that I've, my experience is what I bring in a lot. I love working side by side with them. I like to be the one that catches all those mistakes before they happen, because there's always questions. There always has lots of questions to ask, so I'm always available to help them out.
So when you walk into that kitchen the first time and you meet the chef says, hey, we're gonna put you in the line, and what we expect you to be able to do is make chicken stock, or make julienne carrots, or make a hollandaise sauce, or fillet of salmon. That's what we make sure that you know how to do, and yet you're confident.
I love the creative process of cooking. I like to experiment in the kitchen, see what I come up with. There's nothing worse than making a recipe and you go to 3 stores to find one ingredient, and then you say, hey, I'm smart, I'm just going to make do with something else. And I feel like I'm learning here at cooking school how to, make a recipe my own, come up with plan B.
At the end of the class, we put out all the food that they created, and we have a family meal. So it's actually a really fun part, because we can talk about the flavors, how their dishes came out, and we can sit down as a family.
The curriculum here is easy to manage. The way they break the class structure down, you have a week of soups and starters, a week of vegetables, and then you go in depth for the week, and of course you're welcome to practice at home, which every good student should do. And then, you meet once a week, so time and money are managed.
My passion comes from being involved with the students. For me, the students are my #1 priority. I love working with them. I love, just meeting new students every term. And that's my passion. I want them to be successful.
I hope when I'm done with cooking school that my schools will just enhance my experience at home, cooking for friends and family. I don't plan to pursue a career, but it's a lifelong passion that I'm sure I'll spend decades working with.
The name of our city, Pasadena, was chosen by vote in the 1890s. The name Granada was also on the ballot.
My twin brother Jacob has an autism spectrum disorder. He didn't have any friends as a result. It broke my heart. That was the inspiration behind my nonprofit, Score a Friend. Educating people to include people with differences is so important, because when Jacob's included, he feels like he can succeed in life and he feels like he actually has a purpose.
Pasadena, the Arroyo Seco, and the greater San Gabriel Valley is a place people have called home for thousands of years. Prior to contact with the Spanish, English, and other European colonists in the 16th century, indigenous cultures called this land home.
So the Tongva and the Hahamangna were an interesting group of people because, among other things, they had the possibilities for men and women to both be shaman and to be chiefs. They were also folks that living along the arroyo, like the Chumash that were north of here, followed the water and had a small sort of migration pattern that they followed annually. They would travel from here and continue and go all the way down to the coast and do trading along the way.
One of the main things is how little we actually know, because this is a people who were virtually, they really tried to erase them. And it wasn't just the Spanish colonizers, but through successive Spanish colonization and then the Mexican period, a lot of the Indians blended in with Mexican culture.
There are some people that preferred to be called Tongva. There are some people that prefer to be called Gabrieleño. And there are some people that prefer to be called Kij, because this is how they express their sense of place and identity. And each feel it very strongly.
Tongva means people of the earth. We live pretty naturally, right in a natural world where we ate and lived here. We didn't have like large deer, so we didn't do a lot of hunting.
Well, the way the Gabrielino or Tongva Indians were organized was into small tribelets, and all up and down the Arroyo Seco was more or less like a highway from their territory went all the way out to the sea around Long Beach. It was the broadest, and then it came back up here into the mountains. And they would move about and spend, 6 weeks, 2 months at one place gathering and processing acorns.
We would have marked the trees that fit our people, because the oak only gives acorns every 2 years, which is our natural, that's what we use for flour instead of flour. Anyone coming from another village or from another tribe could take oaks that they needed for their family to feed them, and there would have been no problem as long as they didn't touch the ones that were marked for that family that lived here.
They've been denigrated as digger Indians because they did not make pottery and they didn't have horses, but they did make incredible baskets. They had a very highly developed trade system.
In 1771, the San Gabriel Mission was founded. Spanish missions were sites of relocation, forced labor, and Christian conversion of the indigenous people.
The missions came, and I always say there wasn't a sign out there saying, like Walmart might have a sign saying, come and work, we have job openings. At the mission, it was like, you come in, it was just come in here and they put you in a little closet for 7 days till you became good or you decided to get baptized.
When they were baptized, they were given new names and often were given Spanish surnames. So one of the things that happened for many Tongva was a generation or two later, they thought they were Mexicanos, or their family may have said that they were Tongva or indigenous or Gabrielino, but their name may have been Jose Morales. And so you go to school and they no longer are speaking the language, and a sense of identity is lost. And that's where it's really exciting nowadays that you have people who are reclaiming their heritage and learning again the Tongva language and sharing that with others.
In the last 3 years, I worked with San Gabriel Mission on doing a lot of positive things. They now have a lot of our culture pieces inside the mission.
I think that we can become a lot more educated about the people who lived here before us, because we share the same place, and it's changed a lot over time. But in order to value what we have, it's always useful to look back and understand, what other people have done while they were here, and maybe they, in some ways, did a better job than we do on, taking care of this piece of land that we live on.
We're stronger for embracing the diversity of our history because it's real. All of those people were here. I think it's also really valuable to remember the nature and how very, very important it is. It always has been to Pasadena, or to what becomes Pasadena. And holding on to that is holding on to a treasure for generations to come.
The Little Old Lady from Pasadena song by the Beach Boys is about an elderly woman who speed races down Colorado Boulevard in a shiny Dodge.
Time and time again, when I'm doing street magic, I'll walk up to someone and I can just see that they're against me, right? They don't want to be amazed. They don't want this experience to happen. But then the magic happens and all of that falls away. It's the experience of waking up and seeing things the way you saw them before they became ordinary. I'm looking for that experience of wonder.
Micro distilleries have become popular destinations for the cocktail connoisseur. We stopped by a local business to learn more about the art and science of crafting specialty spirits.
Well, I'd like to tell you about Stark Spirits Micro Distillery. We are the first micro distillery in Pasadena, and we are the second micro distillery in Los Angeles County. And we're very happy to be pioneers in that.
This is a family business. It's my wife and our stepchildren help us out. We do everything here, from distilling the product to aging it, bottling it, packaging. We make whiskey, rum, gin, aquavit, a very unique orange brandy, Sunshine Orange Brandy, which is unique to Stark Spirits. It's the only orange brandy made in the world. We make it from locally grown Valencias.
We've won awards for 6 of our 8 products. Greg is a wonderful recipe maker for the whiskey. He was an excellent home brewer, won all kinds of awards for home brewing. It wasn't commercial, of course. I knew that he would make great whiskey because beer is a little brother of whiskey.
Beer making, wine making, and now distilling have always, I think, been at my core interest.
Greg was keen to have his own business ever since I met him, and I'm an enthusiastic, adventurous kind of person. So we decided to do this. It was a big challenge. It was really fun to get going, let me tell you. The distilling of all of them is easy. People think, the art of distilling, though, is chemistry, and it has to be done right.
So the distilling process is about taking the fermented wash and putting it in our still here and then heating it up. This causes the alcohol to begin to vaporize first, and it rises up the column here, but it comes back down. And this is called reflux. It continues to purify itself, and then when it's finally reached that point where it's pure enough, it will cross what we call the line arm over to the condenser, and then we capture it from the condenser into a spirit receiver.
I'm just amazed at how many people go zipping through the internet looking for places to visit, and micro distilleries that attract them.
Get to explore and learn things about distilling that I didn't know and be creative.
My vision for the future is that we remain a handcrafted, small batch distillery. I like the fact that it's creative and we're involved from beginning to end. I also am hoping very much that the community will get behind us and we'll be able to take advantage of the new state law, which permits us to sell 3 bottles a person to visitors. That will make a big difference in our future, because once they finish a whole bottle, they're going to look for more, and the retailers are going to say, oh, sure, Stark Spirits, we'll get you some.
The first Trader Joe's grocery store was founded in Pasadena on Arroyo Parkway in 1967. The store is still operating today.
I want some more.
What's he doing?
Please, sir, I want some more.
More? He has asked for more!
Thank you.
Well, he did say please.
Yes, he did. And thank you.
Please, and thank you. Pass it on.
Thank you.
Did you know that there's a space in Pasadena where you can learn video production skills and create your own TV show? It's right here at Pasadena Media. Come with us as we go behind the camera to show you how it works.
Pasadena Media was created by the city of Pasadena in 1983 to basically manage the 4 channels.
These 4 channels include KPAS, dedicated to government affairs for the city of Pasadena, PCC TV, featuring the academic activities at Pasadena City College, K-Learn, highlighting Pasadena Unified School District, and the Arroyo Channel, a public access channel for the community to share their own programming.
Within that was also created a media training program for the city residents and for all those who were interested in media, and also teens and who are basically between understanding media and what media is to going full-fledged production or even changing their whole career.
What I really love about this place is that it's truly local content. It's media by and for the people. Freedom of speech is a basic tenet of our democracy. Places like this, great, wonderful public access facilities, allow community organizations, nonprofits, churches, and private citizens to communicate and keep the fabric of our society strong and vibrant.
Such a necessary vehicle, especially in today's environment, where to have a voice and also to be able to create. You know, I got to create something that I just dreamed about, and I literally made it come to life. And there's such pride in that.
Pasadena Media being a community training facility, we provide certain equipment and resources, such as cameras, our wonderful high definition studio, control room. Training is really our biggest resource, where we are able to bring in different community members and teach them how to make television. Obviously, our major resource is our channels, that where people are able to display and discuss any topic that comes to mind.
Well, Pasadena Media has allowed me to be creative, to learn some new techniques as to enhance and also to adorn the message that I want to convey to the peoples in this city. And learning how to edit, learning how to utilize some of the tools here have made that possible.
I've been in access for the better part of my adult life, and I love it. And the reason why I'm in Pasadena is because this city and community have had a long history of supporting public access television, and they continue to demonstrate their commitment to freedom of speech and freedom of expression.
To get involved with Pasadena Media, you must take our orientation, and our orientation will take you through a tour and the ins and outs of how you can become a member of Pasadena Media. Once you've become a member, you're able to take our training classes, so you're able to create content.
You know, one of the core values of us here at Pasadena Media is to provide the opportunity for producers to create their own programming, unfettered by the government, unfettered by us, to create their own voice. to talk about what's important to them and what's important to them within the community, to stitch together this community through communications and television. We urge people to take advantage of that.
Each show we grow, that's the goal. Grow and go and fail and learn and do. Most of all, what we do here is we do. We don't just dream, we do. And we get to show it to the world and to our community. Where else can you do that? Pasadena Media, what does it mean to me? It means everything, period.
Here's your events calendar for the month of February. America's Got Talent auditions on February 3rd at Pasadena Civic Auditorium. Toastmasters Speaking Seminar Series on February 6th at Crowell Public Library. The 51st California International Antiquarian Book Fair on February 9th at Pasadena Convention Center. Matters of the Heart State of Black Pasadena on February 10th at Jackie Robinson Center. The Black History Parade on February 17th at Charles White Park and Robinson Park. Lunar New Year 2018 on February 17th at USC Pacific Asia Museum. Macbeth on February 25th at La Cañada Playhouse. That's your events calendar for the month of February. Thanks for joining us on this episode. If you have an idea for a great segment, let us know on social media or at pasadenamedia.org. See you next time.